All of you have probably already seen the start of a Minecraft world a million times at this point, and instead of wasting your time on showing it all, I just want to—
Wait, this is really boring. All of these videos already exist on my channel, so let's go do something new instead. Now, before we can celebrate surviving to 1,000 days in this hardcore world, I need to fix two things. The first thing is building a basalt generator, since so many of you pointed out in the last episode that I had missed it. Secondly, I want to build up a wool farm, so my girlfriend finally can stop telling me to, and also so that we can use wool in future projects. Now, thankfully, this is a really simple farm to build. Gonna need some packed ice, a little bit of iron and some rails, a few redstone components, craft up a few chests, and with that some hoppers, 2 lava buckets, and final thing is just gonna be a little bit of soul soil. And flying up on the nether roof through our flame. Ooh, ouch. And wait, this farm needs a beacon. I want to try something. Let's grab 3 wither skulls. Hello, end frog. And let's give that another try. Perfect. And drink a fire pot, and we can jump into the lava. If we at the bottom here start adding in a beacon. And then we add in our beacon with the red glass block on top. And then we power up our beacon with haste 2. And now the beacon beam goes straight up through the flames, and it changes colors as it goes up, and that looks amazing. And this should be it. Just sit here and mine. And we're getting basalt. I now officially have every single nether farm in this game. Well, there's now 10 days left until day 1,000, and I've got some preparations to do. First off, we're gonna need like 5 stacks of great stained glass, a few random redstone components, and now what better place to build this firework display than right in front of the cave. Perfect, that part is built, and now I just need to extend a redstone signal from here to there. And this next part is gonna hurt, but I need to take my diamonds. And even though this is a single player world, using 140 diamonds to make fireworks still feel like a waste. And now with the firework stars, papers, and gunpowder, we can make some fireworks. Let's try adding in a walkway of glass. And maybe we can stand on this. And with the texture pack I made 2 episodes ago at the Emerald Factory, this will all disappear. And we're gonna start handing these in here, but I can't move now or they're gonna activate. Alright, this is day 1,000 in this hardcore world. Flick the lever. It's working. Yeah! It's going. And if we look at this, we're on day 1,000. Now for the sheep farm, we're gonna need a bunch of coarse dirt and rooted dirt, a few jungle logs, and now to one of the weirdest blocks, muddy mangrove roots and some mud. Crafted a bit of packed mud, and I think we should have some spruce and crimson right here. Perfect. Now for the design of the sheep farm, I wanted to try something new, so I went into Fresco and started drawing up a sketch of what I wanted this building to look like. And this technique is definitely something that I want to use more in the future. And now, as most of my buildings, I gotta clear a mountain. Because I always seem to build buildings into mountains for some reason. Now, I'm thinking we should extend in a little bit of mud to act as a foundation block here. Now, I want to try something different and extend up a bunch of muddy mangrove roots as the walls for this building. And if we take a step back here, these blocks look so well together and it's a little different. So let's continue this. And now to split the build in 2, I want to add in a trim of dark oak logs. Also extending a few dark oak trapdoors through the middle. And I definitely think we should strip this to get a little subtler texture. Now next up, I want to start extending in the roof trim. And I want to do this by adding in a bit of mangrove. Now this is a great shape for the roof, so let's grab a few stacks of rooted dirt and coarse dirt and make this build even weirder with adding in a dirt roof. Now while it's a weird choice of blocks, you can't tell me it doesn't look good. Now this roof area up here looks so empty, so let's extend in a little bit of birch. Excuse me, that's my bed. Anything good? Nope. I quickly extended up some front decorations. Now you might be asking, why do you have the side here? You saw the sketch, there's going to be an extension of course. For this section, I think I want to extend in a little bit of grass and extend it up 1 block, just so that we get a little bit of height difference. And we'll start that off by extending up some spruce pillars. Gotta strip those. Then taking some inspiration from this. So first extending in a foundation. And then finishing the walls up with adding in a little bit of jungle. For the roof, I decided to keep using mangrove as the outline, but instead of dirt, adding in some dark oak. Now with the bulk of the building installed, I'm gonna need to grab some cobblestone. I apparently have 15 dispensers here. Grab a bit of redstone over at the raid farm. Craft up a few observers. With a bit of wood. Craft up a stack of chests. And craft half of those into hoppers. And now let's start building this wool farm. So first let's add it in our storage system. And I now realize that this is a little small, so we gotta mine a little more. Now next up, the observers gotta go in. And now I'll take this time to just add in our cheers as well. Perfect, the farm should now work, but we have no sheep. Could just 2 of you walk out? 1. Nope, 2. Thank you. You 2. And wow, I really wonder where I got these leads from. Now I just have to breathe this up a few times. Now with the actual wool farm in, I gotta finish the roof. I gotta fix out the floor. Now with the walls, floor, and roof in, I want to add in some decorations. So first off, we're going to use a few acacia trapdoors to cover up this dirt. Gotta fill up a little bit on acacia. Good start on the decorations down here. Added in a little workbench and some wool piles. Up here, I'm thinking our shepherd could live, and let's get a bed for him and maybe a small kitchen. And a few flowers. And up here as well. And now the shepherd has a small little area to live. And on the outside here, we have to add in a chimney. And gotta add in a campfire. A little bit of smoke. Next up, I need to fix this because as you can see, the trapdoors just keep activating all the time. Stop it. First, we gotta add in a floor. Now this looks like a mess, but I'm kind of a fan of it, so I think I'm gonna keep it. Also, I have no other idea what to add in there. And over here, I think we can have some kind of hay storage for all the sheep. Right now, the terrain around the sheep farm is looking really rough, so I think we gotta fix that up a little bit. I first started it off by extending out some coarse dirt going out in front of the sheep pen, and then adding in a little bit of dirt, and then extending in a cliffside, and also finishing up the dirt path, adding in a bit of rooted dirt. And we now have a pathway leading through the front. Still need to add a wheat in here, but I want to extend this pathway, eventually connect up to this path leading into the cave, and from that little pathway down there, it's going to go up the mountain, connect to this path over here that leads to the ruined castle and to the main city. But before we do that, you might be wondering what this weird dirt thing is on the roof. Well, this is the sheep pen. For the sheep pen, I first extended out the terrain, adding in some sort of cave, and then extending a cliff face over the rest of the building. And then, of course, our sheep can't escape, so we gotta add in a fence. And finish up with a fence gate, and maybe a few lanterns. I went ahead and added in the pathway leading up from the cave entrance all the way down to the sheep farm, and also this little side entrance here leading over to sheep pen. Just gotta go grab some sheep real quick. This time, I want 5 of you. 3, 4, and that's 5. That's plenty. That's enough. That's enough. And into the pen. And quickly gotta grab up 5 name tags for them, and then naming them after burning sheep. And burning is one of my Twitch mods, and they own sheep. And a hippity boppity hoop bam boom. Now I don't think these sheep are these colors in real life, but they are here. Now the final thing here is gonna be just a few hay bales. And we'll add some small blocks with adding in a few item frames and a little bit of wheat on the ground. And a few armor stands. Naming this book Statues should get me the Statues book, which is a data pack. Ouch. Perfect, that looks really good. Now the final decorations I want to add in is 2 tool holders. We'll add one right here and the other one over here. Placing down an armor stand. Using this book now, do show arms, yes. Put a hoe in his hand. And with this one right here, oh, that looks amazing. And for a second one, that looks great as well. Now that is just some amazing decoration. Adding that in, it adds so much life. And to finish this build off, I added in a little bit of vegetation. For the time being, I think this is enough vegetation, just because I'm going to be transforming this entire mountainside here to a farming community. But that is in a future episode. And if you want to know a secret, the next episode is going to be a blossom biome. I'm a little sick right now, so that's why I sound weird. But with the 2 things fixed, it's time to do a world tour. And before this world tour starts, I just want to say that there is a world download to this world on my Discord. Link in the description. Now, not only will the world download be there will also be a link to the playlist that has all of these builds in separate videos. And our first build here is my starter house. It is fully equipped with an interior. This is my starter storage room, my bedroom, and the second exit that leads over to the tower. And this tower eventually connects to this railroad that goes throughout the whole cave. Now for the second episode of this series, I built up this dwarven inspired city. I'm a huge fan of this build and I love how well connected it is. It is also the house of my villager breather, which I guess you could call a semi-interior. But not only that, it also has my favorite feature of this whole cave, this little pond. And this water here actually leads up to the top city. Now moving on from the second episode, we come into episode 3. And I decided to build a whole mining operation. It's fully equipped with a smelter building here that houses my super smelter that I will be rebuilding in the near future. And it has this quarry off to the side where the dwarves can mine all of their stones and minerals. And if you look very close to the bottom, there's also some kind of magical source here. Not only does this quarry look amazing, it also houses 2 of my automatic farms. My dripstone farm and my very ugly cobblestone farm. But the main piece of this episode is gonna be the cauldron and anvil. This anvil right here is what I used to make my netherite gear. I then also connected everything up through these giant pipes that leads lava throughout the whole thing, so it makes it look more alive. Now moving on to episode 4 is my storage room, and it has a lot of storage. Now the best part of this storage room is this machine right here, which automatically can sort different items into the same chest. And I definitely don't know anything of how this machine works, so I'm not even gonna try explaining it. But I really like how this room is decorated. It feels very alive with the minecarts coming in and out, and this gantry system here, leaving and unloading the minecarts. Now that is not the only thing that we built in episode 4. We also built this villager house up here, which is very inspired by Fwip's base on the Empire's SMP. And it has a very basic interior, but it holds my masons. I love my masons. Still don't like villagers though. This episode is also where I got all of my netherite gear and our first ever beacon in this world. And now, swiftly moving on to episode 5, it's when we built up this giant castle. And entering in the main gate here, we have this courtyard, which is the only area that's kind of decorated. Every single other room is very empty. But even though the interior is nowhere to complete, and I hope to finish it one day perhaps, I still love this build so much. Because this is the first ever castle that I actually finished on the exterior. And taking the minecart through this cave brings us on to episode 6, which is the episode that I finally finished this project. Adding in all of these bodies of water in here, the street lights, connecting everything, this lava farm right over here, the wagons, and so much more. And this video really brought this project together, making it feel like one big project instead of separate ones. And episode 7 is the first episode that I ever ventured outside of the cave to build something. And what better to do it with than a castle? I built this ruined castle here to house my iron farm, which is obviously located in the spawn chunks and works 24/7, as long as I'm on the world, of course. But as you can see, it has a lot of iron in it. I actually recently emptied this, so this is a lot more. And this is also the episode which I killed the ender dragon in and got my wings. And that has helped me so much to grow this world outside of the cave. And the next video, episode 8, is these 2 giant gatehouses. Or well, this right here is actually only one of them. And this right here is the other one. And right here on this hill somewhere, I can't remember exactly, it might be right here, is where I almost died to a creeper. Alright, that added a lot. That was close, but I don't think it could have killed me because I had full netherite. Anyhow, moving inside of the gates now into the city. And episode 9 was creating the terrain for this entire city because, well, this area really didn't look like this before. Moving on to episode 10, I created this part of the city. Building in all of these houses, creating this little like slum area of the city. Or well, not really slum area, but a residential area where people that aren't too rich at least live. It's very compacted and I love it so much. Especially walking up through here with all the greenery, the banners, and the house being so close to each other. And this little area right here was so fun to plan out because of the houses, how they stack on each other and how they work together. And it was really one of my first builds where I worked with sightlines because I wanted this area to look really well if you came in from this gatehouse right here. And I really think that I got that through with every single house showing up. You see that little bit of orange there, that roof up there, and all of this. Just really happy with how the sightlines worked here, and I definitely want to work with that more in the future. In this episode, we also built these 2 houses up, and this one has this little stables area here where you can park your horse. Rest your horse. And I plan to transform this building right here into some sort of inn where you can stay the night if you're visiting the city. And another view that I love is this bench right here that you can look into the city. And it's going to be even better once we get this area right over here done. And this house right here is going to belong to a painter. And it started raining. Well, I don't want to do the tour in the rain, so now I just have to wait for night so I can make it Go away. Let me sleep. Now back with some clear skies here. This house is going to be occupied by a painter, mainly because I want to make a platform out here behind the house into like a painting studio thing. It's also going to be lived in by 2 of my Twitch chat viewers. And if you want to have your own character in the city, do leave a comment down below with a name, occupation, hobbies, and other fun stuff about them. And I'll decorate a house after them. And in episode 11, I built my favorite build so far. And it is this bee farm. I just absolutely love this build just because of how much movement there is in it. With the windmill, the honey dripping out from the side into the barrel. There's just so much happening and there's so much life. And I definitely can't wait to fill the rest of this mountainside here with even more buildings like this one. And if we pop into the inside, this first little area here is like a honey storage area. And then the rest isn't really decorated. And here is my honey farm. And ooh, it's very full. Anyways, that was not the only thing that we did for episode 11. This was also uploaded on Halloween, and I made this haunted mansion. Now, this is one of those projects that I never actually got to finish just because I ran out of time and I really wanted to upload this on Halloween. So I never really got to finish the interior, and as a true Minecraft builder fashion, I didn't do a back at all. But the front pathway here is looking amazing. All the dead trees, the giant pumpkins, and I absolutely love the atmosphere. And especially at night. And like I said, this place just looks absolutely amazing walking through during the night. Especially the flying candles. I think it adds a really nice atmosphere to this whole place. And episode 12, I built my nether portal. And I transformed this mountain peak here into some sort of like magical lava place with ice crystals, and this is supposed to symbolize the nether. Yeah, I don't really know, but I kind of like it. But we did this project to prepare for a future project, but we'll get to that in just a little bit, because for episode 13 we were back in the giant city. This time I built up 15 houses and kind of finished off the city center at least. And walking through here gives the same vibe as in the other area. I just absolutely love it. I really want to play a little more with sightlines in the future. There's a lot in here and there's still a lot more work to put into it, but I'm so happy with it so far. And one of my favorite things is definitely all the small gardens I put in here and the mini decorations. And I've even started doing a few interiors here. So this is the bakery, and the baker is actually named Kilian Eberhard Zeppelin. Yeah, that's a handful, and you can thank Burning for that name. But I absolutely love the mini decorations in here with the hidden item frames, the potatoes that look like buns. And my favorite part is probably this bone meal right here, which symbolizes flour. And this is the other interior that I've done, which is a library, and it's occupied by moonshine. And if you watch my Skyfall videos, then you know who that is. And again, this project is so much fun to work on, and I definitely can't wait to finish it up. And continuing the tour, heading across the ocean now, we arrive at my emerald factory. And this right here is the biggest build I've ever done in Minecraft, and I absolutely love it. I say that I absolutely love a lot of my builds, don't I? And I definitely consider this project to be a little too big for one building because I became a little unmotivated to finish the inside. And at the top above it, I also have my raid farm, which gives me all the emeralds I could ever use. And I think this is a good time to mention that I don't use totems in this world because I choose to, not because I don't know how to get them or I don't know what they are, because a lot of you mentioned in my previous video that I should get a raid farm, but as you can see, I already have one. I just think that totems make hardcore into survival, because you can basically die as many times as you want without you actually losing the world. So I choose to play without them. And this emerald factory is also sitting on its own custom-made island. And in the future, I plan to expand this because, well, it's missing this whole side right here. But that's enough for episode number 14. And for episode number 15, we gotta head into the nether, because this is the episode where I built the giant nether base and also every single nether farm that you can think of. I even spawn-proofed massive parts of the nether just to be able to flex. And yes, before you run to the comments to tell me that I didn't even have to spawn-proof and I could have just made the Il Mango or Iron XO4 design. I don't know who it's by. Yes, I know I could have done that, but then I can't flex that I've actually spawn-proofed the entire nether. And I gotta be able to flex. And as a side project, I'm currently working on designing designs for all of these farms so they aren't as ugly as they are right now. And this is the first one, and it's a froggy chair with a frog on it. Everyone say hi to King Norm. This is what happens when you let Twitch chat decide what to decorate the farms with. Now that moves us on to episode number 16, which is the episode we're currently doing right now. And you probably remember that we built this sheep farm right here because everyone's been telling me to build one, and we have finally done it. And I'm still so amazed at these decorations. I want to use them more everywhere. This is the second building on this mountainside, and in the very near future, I plan to transform this entire mountainside into a farming area. But that is going to be it for me And thank you so much for watching this video. While I'm done recording this right now, I'm already at day 1140. So we're already way past 1000 days. I already have a great plan of what we're going to do for 2000 days, but I'm going to keep that a secret for a little longer. So thank you so much for watching, and in the next episode, we're going to be building a blossom biome.